Welcome on in into another episode of NASCAR Mailbox. Let's dig into the questions after 301 laps at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Now I got two questions rolled into one about the same topic. I'm going to start with Catherine Wirtz 2098, and they say Chase Elliott needs a win to make the playoffs. As aforementioned before, Chase Elliott tried to make the climb into the playoffs without a win after first missing some races due to an injury and then getting suspended for another race for his actions at Charlotte Motor Speedway. After the Gateway race, he was 98 points behind the cutoff line. Needed to make about 9 points per race. If you're a top 5 car, which Chase Elliott proved in the first 3 races after that suspension, he was making up ground. After the Chicago Street Course race, he was only 55 points within that cut line. Now, the big thing with this, what I've aforementioned, is that Chase Elliott doesn't need mulligans in order for him to get in the playoff by points. It's a doable amount, but again, you can't have what happened at Atlanta, where you have cut line drivers scoring top 5s, and then you're mired outside the top 10, or in the case of Loudon last week, not really getting any advantage at all with the points. So Chase Elliott, 60 points, 6 races, 10. It's definitely going to be tough. Chase Elliott needs to be performing, dominant in those stages. Doesn't necessarily have to get a win, but he needs to get some stage points in his back pocket in order for him to make the climb up to the cut line. So I think it's still very possible, but again, you've got to top 5 your way into it and possibly get that win. It's tough, to win in the Cup Series, and there's only 6 more chances. Now, looking at those chances, the American Walmart's 3565 asks, what track will Chase Elliott win at if he were to win? Well, obviously, convention's going to say Watkins Glen. He's performed well there and won there before, too. Road courses, obviously, have been more the strength of Chase Elliott. People are looking at Indy Road Course for him to win. But I'm going to also look at a dark horse race for Chase Elliott is Michigan. Chase Elliott has only finished outside the top 11 once. And that was a 28th place finish in his career starts at Michigan. So Chase Elliott, if he rolls the dice just right at Michigan, Hendrick always brings a fast car. I think that's a track that Chase Elliott could capitalize if it's not a road course that he wins at. So it's plausible, getting less plausible with each week that passes by. Definitely didn't help that Loudon didn't get any points. Really didn't help that he lost points to the cut line. So it's definitely an interesting storyline to watch with Chase Elliott, as he's only 60 points back from making the playoffs. And now this next question comes from Napa Racing Fan 9275. They asked, with ARCA at Iowa Speedway last week and IndyCar's recent success there, why can't NASCAR race at Iowa? Trucks, Xfinity, and Cup triple header weekend. At the very least, Trucks and Xfinity should return. I've been to Iowa Speedway in 2019 before of all those renovations that were going on. And it looks like they've definitely improved with the fan experience too, but the big problem that you're facing with having a triple header there, unless what you do with Charlotte is you just run the trucks, ship them out, and then have the Cup cars roll in, there's not really a lot of space for these drivers to have a garage area for all 3 series. There's the garage area that's towards the turn 1 and 2 side, and then there's the road course part where the trucks were in 2019. Xfinity was in the garage area. There's definitely that possibility of, having an Xfinity and truck race there, but the problem is that it's a companion series, and they want to have one of those series with the Cup Series. Hard to have those standalone events when you have the likes of Road America, Milwaukee Mile competing for dates on the schedule. But, I have it in my heart. I'm hopeful for that too. It does provide some great racing, built in the mind of a racer of a racetrack, kind of in Rusty Wallace's mind, kind of like that Richmond racetrack. But it's hard to have 3 series all piled in there at once. And also, too, it's, like I said, it's still a smaller facility. You'd have to do it like a North Wilkesboro. You would only have really 2 series, or the 3rd series would just have to come in for a one-day show and leave, which would be kind of tough on that front. So, it's definitely a great track. It's not the track, it's not the, at the amenity, it's just the size and location. That's the big issue with Iowa Speedway. It's in Newton, Iowa, kind of off of Interstate 80, right off of there. It's not really near Des Moines or the Quad Cities. It's out in the middle of the cornfield, but as they've mentioned in the Field of Dreams, build it and they will come. Like I said, thankful that ARCA's gone out there and IndyCar's been out there as well. So plans may involve with that, but COVID-19 really messed up the track plans. So maybe they can get some momentum, come back and host an Xfinity truck race, but I'm still at least thankful that they have an ARCA race and an IndyCar race there. And that will do it for this week's NASCAR Mailbox. Join in next week after NASCAR takes on the Tricky Triangle at Pocono Raceway. Make sure to have your questions ready, and I will answer them next week. From then until now, have a great race weekend.
This is Daniel Hemrick, driver of number 11 Collar Grist Chevrolet. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also, check out one of those 2 videos beside me. Visit frontstretch.com for more racing content.